how to drive it.
Always gets rusty. Painting that, always, I don't know why, but it's super satisfying.
David Freiburger's got nothing on this girl. Hey everybody, welcome back. Glad you're joining us today on Killer Kustoms. We have a really cool episode, and today's all about how to install a windshield in an old car. But you're gonna want to stick around for this one because we got lots of tips and tricks to show you what I think is the best technique and how to make that windshield look absolutely awesome. Not like they were doing it in the 60s.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good. So here's what we're gonna start off doing, kids. You see this dash is kind of, well, it's had some stuff fall on it over here. Broop, broop, right there. Teresa and I are going to hammer and dolly that. And because we're about to cover this up, we just realized we're going to start with that real quick. So you're going to watch us fix those dents, paint it flat black on the top here. And then and you can see somebody tried to cut the serial number out of it at some point, but to no avail. So we're going to paint this flat black, fix the dents, and get ready to install the windshield. Yeah, that's a good start. Push it forward just a little more. Yeah, just like that. Over. Yeah. That's not bad. Roll the dolly. Just like
As you can see, JF's a perfectionist and he can't not be a perfectionist. So any little crinkles in the venting system he wants to get out so that it looks nice and clean for whoever wins the car.
the whole area around here. I'm going to show Teresa how to get underneath and mask. We're going to paint this flat black. We're going to do it out of order, just because it seems a little quicker. We're going to mask, then sand, then paint. This is just a quickie, but still probably able to last 20 years. Or until somebody wants to rotisserie. Well, I guess we already had this car in a rotisserie. In case somebody wants to go further with the car, that'll be the day this gets done any better. But it's going to look just great.
I like it the way it is.
One of the important things that we're doing here, and the reason it's relevant, is when the windshield sits on this surface, I want it to be black. That way, if you happen to see through the windshield, I want this area to be black. Leads us into having a nice flat black dash, which is also important. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, and the flat black dash is kind of nice because you don't have a lot of reflection from the sun. It just kind of cleans things up. And the most important thing is you don't have to go to your paint store and have them mix up a custom color or anything like that. You can just grab a can of trim black and paint her on up.
And when you, I don't know if this is right, but when you put that tape in, or that, it kind of makes a warpy shape and you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Where I've seen in some show cars, if this is colored, you totally see it.
I got one more trick. That was a good lead in because I got one more trick I'm going to show you guys that's going to make that windshield look really good.
Yeah.
Teresa's talking about the glue that we use, or even the old dum-dum that you use kind of gets spread out and looks ugly.
Yeah.
We're going to show you how to do that just a little bit nicer. All right, so we've done some quick sanding with 220 if you're curious about what we're prepping for flat black with. 220 is coarse. You got a really good tooth into what you're working on, and you don't really have to worry about the sand scratches with flat black because it kind of hides everything. I'm going to blow it off, then I'm going to use some windshield cleaner. Again, probably not advised in the body shop, but we're at home and we don't have all the right stuff. So now I know a lot of the guys are going to say, especially body shop guys are going to say, oh, you shouldn't be rubbing that with your hands because the oils from your hands are going to make the paint not stick properly. I have found over the years that I'm one of those people that doesn't have very oily hands, and typically they're covered in dust anyways. So I do like to touch my surfaces just to make sure there isn't something I missed in my sanding or there isn't something sticking up. So it feels good. I think we're going to set up Teresa so she can make it look, you know, like just like, looks real nice, Clark. So let's do that. If
Why
you don't,
do I always get referred to with Eddie?
I'm not referring to Eddie with you. I'm being the Eddie at that one.
Okay.
You're the hot blonde chick that's married to Clark Griswold. We're gonna shake this can. If you read the instructions, which I can't read because I'm getting too old to read little print like that, but let's say we shake it for a few minutes. Usually when the ball's loose, that's a good indication that you're getting the paint mixed up. We're going to give it a couple extra minutes. It's summertime now, so we're not going to put it in the fire to warm it up because it's probably quite warm. The key is going to be here, Teresa, to just simply put a light coat of black on, let it sort of look very transparent.
Okay.
Work your way around, another light coat till it's not transparent, and then one coat you're going to go right across and just kind of do a nice job. So likely 3 coats.
Okay.
Keep shaking.
I think I need a stool.
You know what this project's actually reminding me of? Remember that young guy, Max Vandergag, that we sold a burnt Camaro to?
Yes.
So here's a quick shout out to one of our friends slash, I don't know what to call him, but I don't want to call him a customer because he's just a neat kid.
Oh,
He
he's a
told us
great
in
kid.
passing, his dad always comes to our car shows. We know his dad's a really, really good car builder, but he told us in passing he was looking for a kind of a first-gen Camaro. Of course, they're very difficult to buy, a small window Camaro. So I said to him, I said, Teresa and I own a really burnt one. And I said, instead of doing floor repairs, frame repairs, all that kind of rust repair that you normally do on a second-gen Camaro, why don't you buy ours? And you might even be able to use like a big back window Camaro roof and maybe with a little bit of creative metalwork, get into this car super, super cheap. So this car was literally burnt to a crisp, right? The dash was completely burnt and melted. Yeah, the roof was just doing one of these, not salvageable as far as a roof skin.
Yeah.
But the floors were good, the frame was good, and he didn't have a lot of money, so he basically took the engine, transmission, suspension out for us, and then he found a later second-gen Camaro stuff, like a donor car for hundreds of dollars, and started this project, and he's got it on the road. So big shout out to Max. It's neat to be inspired by somebody who's actually doing it with no budget.
Yeah.
This isn't a kid that had big credit cards to rack up. He simply had his own efforts and his labor, which is what we're doing right here. Yeah. And that's kind of the premise of this. And we love that. If you're doing one of these cars where you don't have a lot of money, but you're putting in lots of sweat equity, tell us all about it. Yeah. Your first pass doesn't really matter, but you should be learning with your first pass so that you get it right.
Do you want me to start this?
I don't care how you do it. You're trying to learn the pattern as you're going here, so you're way overdoing it. Remember I said transparent. Yeah. The reason for the transparent coat is so that it'll actually stick, so the paint actually sticks. Looks nice. If you get a little bit closer, then you have less overspray. You don't have to. Don't paint your hand, love.
Okay.
Okay, now you just gotta wait for it to flash off for all stuff you can do at home in a one-bay garage with a dirt floor. Right?
Yeah.
Looking good.
Shall I wait just a minute?
Let her rip. So this one has to be the nicest of your coats.
Okay.
So you really want it to be even as possible.
Okay.
Typically the trim black paint will take care of that for you, but
Okay.
just try a little harder, and you could put it on a little wetter this time. One of the biggest things I want to pass on to you guys is that if you're inspired about your project, other people will get inspired too. Right now I got to do a big shout out to Lewis Thaw from Canadian Classics Auto Supply.
Thanks, Lewis.
Thanks, Lewis. So what he gave us is a bunch of old inventory that was either dented, scratched, or returned for some reason that...
Yeah.
So back, it's still on the theme of this car. It's brand new parts, but it's brand new parts that aren't quite perfect. And we were so blessed to have them. And this is one of the most important brand new parts going on this car. Makes me really excited. We had a super scratched up old windshield that we could have cleaned up and put in this car. Instead, Lewis is giving us a near perfect brand new windshield.
Ooh, ooh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
This whole episode might be dead.
Oh no.
Here, you hold it. Come and hold it.
Oh, it's too small.
I think it's the back window.
It's the back window.
Do we want to shift gears and actually just put this in? Let's do that. Let's do that.
All right.
Okay, I told you guys I was going to do a glass install video, and we're doing it still.
All right.
Teresa, come
Back
over here.
windshield.
So, first thing I want to do is mask off the outside of the window.
Does everybody that's watching this know what you're doing?
Nope. I'm just kind of covering it up because I'm going to put some paint on the inside. Or some dye on the inside.
Actual.
Black dye.
Okay.
All right, this is where it gets interesting. So I'm going to take a piece of 3/4 inch because that's what I've got. And I would like to make maybe just over 3/4 of an inch of a reveal line on this. This is the most critical part of what I'm going to show you guys today. So you see how I'm just kind of spacing that a little over 1/8 there.
We've done a couple of windshield episodes. We've done windshield cutting.
We've done windshield cutting. If you guys haven't seen the windshield cutting, you're missing out on one of the coolest custom things going on in the whole industry. Almost nobody, well, I don't know of anybody that's ever used the trick that I invented there. And it is the way to cut glass. And I don't care whether if you're Bad Chad, Derek, our buddy Kevin Tates. At some point when you decide to build a really cool custom car, you are going to need to cut the glass.
Right.
So...
And there's less places that cut glass for custom cars.
Well,
than
and
other.
there's not a lot of people that actually have found a way to do it without damaging the glass.
Right.
Fast forward to a Bad Chad video where he's struggling, right?
Yeah, got a little bit going on there on the other side. Show the world.
That's not a criticism of Bad Chad. It's just very hard to do, and we finally found a sequence for it. So if you haven't seen that video, it's totally worth the watch. It is almost genius, if I do say so myself.
I don't know if I told you this, but when we were at a car show, somebody had watched our glass cutting.
Yeah.
And they had asked if we would cut their glass for them. Because
And you said no way.
I did. I said no way. And he said because he was quoted $5,000 to cut his windshield.
Well, and you can't guarantee it, but the way we do it, it is the best way that I've come across. Nobody has taught me any different. So we're pretty confident in the way we do it.
My first quote for glass, 4-piece of glass, what do you think?
I don't know, $10,000?
$92,000.
Get out of here.
So now Teresa and I have masked a perimeter here. She can show you what that looks like. I'm going to get... I can show you what it looks like. Found, and this is just what I've found, it's difficult to scratch glass. So I have found old emery cloth to be kind of the best. Teresa, you got to stay about 1/8 of an inch away from the...
Like there?
No. You got to stay 1/8 of an inch away from the masking.
Okay.
Otherwise you'll scratch up the masking and it looks bad.
Okay.
So if you just go ahead and give her a good scratch. And it is a bit critical to do this. Otherwise the dye, or I don't know what it is really, it's a black windshield prep primer, doesn't seem to stick nearly as well if you don't have a physical tooth into the glass. This one is called Pinch Weld and Glass Bond Primer. So on newer vehicles, this is the technique for installing glass, and typically they already have the black band around them. So this allows the urethane we're about to use to have a good bite to the glass, and it also allows it to have a good bite to the pinch weld. And if you've scratched the pinch weld while you're cutting the windshield out, because that's how you do it nowadays, then you can get all those scratches with this pinch weld primer. So I like to use a pinch weld primer because it belongs on the glass, it gives good adhesion, and it's going to give us that nice little new style car black band around it. It doesn't take much of this to create a nice black line, and we're going to be using urethane. The key to this stuff is you go one direction like this while it's wet, and in about 30 seconds it's dry and gummy and you can't play with it anymore. So don't try to play with it too much here. So the next step, we're going to let this dry up. We want it dry before I apply the actual product to it. I'm going to unmask the other side. I probably overdid that. Could have done it without big masking, but I just didn't want any of this black stuff to stick to the outside of the windshield or the window. So that's your most important step in the whole process, if you guys are counting steps. One thing I'm going to do while we're at it, I got all these clips off of it, and believe it or not, I really prefer factory GM clips to the aftermarket ones. So next step is a pretty straightforward one. Fast cure windshield adhesive. I think you could get away with slow cure too, but we're always in a hurry around here. Check this out. This is important if you've never done this before. So it's basically just a caulking gun, and if you've ever done any sort of caulking, this will make sense, but it's got little V's on it like this. See them?
No.
The little V's?
No.
There, you saw them for a minute. Right there. So I am going to, I'm actually going to cut it a little wider. So cut it off like you would normally for a caulking gun. And then I'm going to go way up top, and cut a little V in it like that, coming out of here. There we go. And what I'm trying to test is how fast it's coming out, because that'll dictate how fast I have to move. So that's still just a bit faster than I want to move. And what I'm going to do is put it right along the edge of the glass. See the difference there? It's almost like one was not working and then the other one, whoa. Whew. It's kind of a stressful job. Gotta keep moving. Okay, so the more even I do that, without too many wobbles. The less wobbles we'll see on the actual car. A bit stressful though. Again, you don't need a pro tool for that. You could do it with a caulking gun. I just happen to own the tool already. So you see what happened with that V now is that this stuff's standing up quite tall, and it's going to give Calvin and I an opportunity to sort of wedge it in there without it missing a spot. So that should seal very, very well. Good for this. Not bad, hey? Okay, I'm going to walk around. We could have probably handed it to each other. Yeah, we got to help me get around this motor. Okay. I think we can set it down. That's not going to hurt anything at this point. So you're going to, you say you're going to move your hand on the inside. Okay, I'm supporting it. Yeah, sorry kids, this is not actually exactly how I wanted to do this. I had a plan to do the windshield. Can you get close to it?
Yeah, I got it.
Now I have to do the same, actually. Teresa, we may need a hand here.
What do you want me to do?
Can you just hold it like this for a sec? Watch out, because you're going to get shit all over you. So Calvin's got it balanced.
How much more?
Yeah, we're good your way, I think. I can't tell from here. You're going to hold it up, and I'll go have a look. Damn it.
Go another inch.
We needed the suction cups here. Okay, I got it.
Sitting now?
Yeah, I'd like it to stick out just a bit more. That'll hold it up for sure. No, should be good. Yep. Okay. Now we got to support this out just a little bit because I don't think. I'm just going to try a piece of trim here. Glass is always stressful when you do it like this. Oh, it's too far down. We totally missed the boat. So we got to shim it. Teresa, can you find me some stir sticks, wooden stir sticks, something?
Yep, got
Okay.
some. I've got chopsticks. Will chopsticks work?
Is it sitting higher now?
Yeah, a little bit at the top.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Oh,
It should be like a lot.
it's quite a
Yes.
bit. It's quite a bit higher at the top now.
It's not flush. That height you're holding it is flush, but it's settling back down just a little bit.
Well, it shouldn't be flush. It should be lower by 3/8.
It is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to clean that up after.
It's not as low as it was before.
Okay, well, that's all I can ask for at this point. Perfect. We actually ran into some troubles here, and I used chopsticks to physically hold it distance away from the car because I didn't really prep for this today. We sort of rushed into it. I got caught with my pants down and wasn't really prepared for the glass to sit so low. I think that's because the urethane was really hot today. Oh yeah.
Looks like it went the right direction after all, though.
Yeah, I just don't know if it'll be the right height for the clips. Like how deep these end up going. Yeah, that should work actually. Yeah, I think so. We're going to use our special little plastic hammer here to fix these dents. So we got this old trim. Of course, we're building this car out of old parts. You can see that really strong dent there. I'm going to try to pound it out before we install this. Push it back out. Ooh, like that. Boy, it's a 7 out of 10 there.
Just needs cleaning. And we had a big dent in the one that we just found, thinking we didn't have the right things. Look at that big whopper. So we're going to try to push that one out too. You need some polishing tips? Yes, Calvin. To make the job easier? Yeah, we're ready. Polishing tips. Tell me all about it. You cut to you guys at the shop polishing the trim. Do we take it to the shop and make it just shiny? Shiny, not nice, just shiny.
Shiny. And we'll be back after this.
Oh.
Do you remember the crab?
No.
Do you remember the crab in the cartoon?
Oh,
and
okay,
he
yeah.
was the crab that had all the gold, and he was sitting on top of it saying,
All right, the window saga, the window install saga continues. We managed to go to the shop and quickly polish all the trim for the rear window. I mean quickly, because there's no sense in buying new stuff. And while we were down in the town, we went to my buddy Clint's, and he just happened to have, you probably guessed it already, but, oh man, there we go. A brand new windshield for this car. So we're going to be able to go through the steps again real quick. You guys will follow us through that. We're going to be another 10 minutes. We'll get this windshield installed and call that a wrap. It'll be awesome to see glass in this car.
so how much did this cost us?
A couple $100.
Okay.
Well, we're driving down to the Duct Tape Drags in this car, and it's nighttime. There's a bunch of glare coming in from oncoming traffic.
Wait, whoa. Are we driving this to the Duct Tape Drags?
Yeah, of course. That's how it works.
All right.
Super surprised. Yes,
new
we're
to
driving
me.
it to Duct Tape Drags. And lots of time. What we're learning with this, I'm especially learning it, is that I'd forgotten when I was young and building cars really on a budget like this, I had the time to do it. So we'll do basically the same thing we did on the inside. A lot of this glass comes from offshore, and that doesn't mean that it's 100% really good American-made stuff. Tips and tricks as we go, as we make them up.
Or if we do it again, we're going to do it better.
Do it differently.
What little guys?
These little guys, I took these off the Nova. They're windshield supports. So that'll hold it in place at the right height. One pass as best I can here. Trying not to be too wobbly with it. Ooh, I was wobbly there, wasn't I? Okay. This one I'm going to put just along the edge. You can see I'm going for lots of height there. Lots of height allows me to make sure we're not going to have any leaks. Ha! Maybe a 68 dash pad's longer than a 67. Do you guys know anything about that? All I know is it looks great. So that's your teaser of what's coming on the next episode. Maybe we're moving into the inside of the car. What do you think, Teresa?
I'm super excited about it because I know the secret of what's happening next.
All right, so that's it. That's super cool glass. A little bit of technique for you. You can see the goo isn't moved over all over the place and sticking out. It's going to look great with trim. The rear is completely done. Trimmed out, looks beautiful. We are super happy about that. We'll keep the wind out of the car for now. We still don't have side glass. I'm not as concerned about that as getting brakes and tires.
I'm concerned about it.
So we're getting closer and closer every time we make some effort. We do have to gather a lot of parts up before we make any sort of effort. And if I sound winded, yes, I'm still sort of recovering and I shouldn't be working this hard, but we want to get this car on the road. So there's our sacrifices. So thank you again for watching. We really appreciate it. We are really, really close to our 50,000 subscriber number that would make us really, really happy. So if you got friends you think will like this and our content and our escapades, just lead them onto the channel. We appreciate you for watching. Hopefully a few of you have gotten your new 50/50 t-shirts. I love that Camaro t-shirt.
Yeah,
it's really
the
good looking.
50/50 Camaro t-shirt's really nice. And then we're also going to be doing some guest appearances pretty quick. Yeah.
See you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, anybody that has some side glass so Teresa doesn't have to get wet while we're driving.
Right. But that is pretty fucking nice.